in chapter number 2, that is individual behavior. In this chapter, we are going to discuss 2 new topics today. So first of all, let us discuss about a new topic, that is impression management. Now today, in impression management, we are going to understand first of all what is impression management, and secondly, we will understand different impression management techniques used by employees in the organization or otherwise in the society. So first of all, let us understand impression management. So actually impression management is the process by which individuals attempt to control the impression others form of them. So through impression management, people want to create a certain kind of impression on others. They want to create a good impression and avoid creating a bad impression over others. So this is how when a person tries to control both of these, it is called impression management. Now there are various impression management techniques. Let us see them one by one. So the first technique is conformity. Now the meaning of conformity is to agree with someone so that you become acceptable to them. So to agree with someone's opinion, you want to be with them or you want to have that sense of belonging, and that is why you will agree with every opinion even without thinking twice. For example, telling your boss immediately that it is a good idea and it needs to be implemented. It may cause an adverse result, but on the spot you have created a good impression by agreeing with the boss. The second method or the technique of impression management is giving excuses. Now many times people fail to fulfill their promises or commitments, or they may fail to complete certain tasks. When this happens, no one wants to take the responsibility on them, but rather than that, they will give excuses why they were not able to do that task. So they will give excuses or reasons which will have even more priority than the given task, so that their impression is not hampered. So giving excuses is also one of the method of impression management. But what happens when a person doesn't have any excuse? Then there is this third technique which is called apologies. When there is no room for excuses, or when a person cannot find out any reason to give for not completing a task or for not doing certain thing in a certain way, then the person will apologize because the person wants to belong to a particular group or want to be acceptable. So when there is nothing left to be given as an excuse, when apologizing is the last resort, then the person will say sorry and take the entire responsibility of the mistake or the error on oneself. The fourth method of impression management is self-promotion. This is a highly prevalent technique which is used by most of the people inside and outside the organizations. People even use these techniques within the families to show that how perfect they are. So the self-promotion technique is used by highlighting one's own achievements or by praising oneself. People usually have a habit of telling others how difficult tasks they are doing and how perfectly they are managing their time, how nicely they are delivering all the tasks, or how much achievement they have had in their life. By doing so, a person tries to portray oneself as the best one among everyone. People do self-promotion for various purposes. In the organization, people do self-promotion first of all at the time of interview when they want to get recruited in the company. So they try to show to the company that I am the best person for this particular job. Later on, the person does a self-promotion to be always in the eyes of the superiors, so that at the time of performance appraisal or at the time of increments or promotions, they are remembered as one of the best employees of the organization. So this is how self-promotion helps impression management a lot. The next technique is flattery. Flattery is also one of the most prevalent techniques of impression management. Generally, people try to be very good to others so that they are accepted by others. They would keep on praising others to include themselves in a particular group or to become a favorite person in the eyes of others. Flattery generally happens by the subordinates towards the superiors. Now, flattery can be of any manner. A person may give a flattery about one's dressing sense, one's looks, or how a person works. Some person in the organization may praise the communication of some person. They may praise about the management of a person. They may praise how sincere a person is, how better a person is able to handle pressure, etc. Flattery is the most prevalent practices in the organizations. Generally, people give praises so that they want to be acceptable to everyone. Within the organizations and outside the organizations, people try to praise others for various things. The praise can include anything. You may praise about someone's looks, dressing sense, communication skills, the knowledge, the way a person handles others, the way a person can handle stress, pressure, the management skills. Many different things can be praised so that you gain favor of others. Flattery is usually used by subordinates towards the superiors so that they are remembered at the time of performance appraisal. Flattery generally makes the other person feel good, and that is why it is used to create a good impression. But sometimes it may turn out to be the opposite. If the person who is the target of flattery is very wise and understands that this is only flattery, then it will do no good. Another technique of impression management is favors. Now, favors means doing nice to others to gain approval. People may use favors in different manner. Some people may do a favor by giving a gift, but some other person may do a favor by helping others in their task. There may be a person in an organization who is always ready to help others. By doing so, this person becomes the favorite person of everyone and has a very good impression in the organization. Favor can be done in many different ways, and by doing favors, you can actually oblige the other person to do good towards you. And this kind of favors are generally used in the society also and in the organization. The last impression management technique is association. Now, many people want to create an impression by showing their connection with some important person. By enhancing one's identity with someone, with the information that you are connected to someone, one tries to manage one's impression. So, for example, if an employee talks about his or her connection with the boss in other terms, then it creates a good impression. So, even association is used for impression management by many people. So, these are the 7 different techniques of impression management that people use in the organizations so that they create a good impression and they avoid a bad impression. So, to gain good impression, people use conformity, self-promotion, flattery, favors and association. And to avoid the bad impression, people uses excuses and apologies. So this is how impression management techniques helps people in creating their impression in the organization, and this in turn will affect the behavior of people in the organization. So that is why impression management techniques or impression management is also one of the very important factors of organizational behaviors. Now, today we are going to study the next topic of organizational behavior, which is decision making or how individuals make decisions. So individuals may make different decisions at different point of time in different manner. Now, there are various kinds of people and they all have different decision making techniques. But how an individual in the organization will make a decision will affect the organization's work. And that is why it is also important to understand that at different point of time, how individuals will decide upon different things. So let us see how people take decision individually when they have to take a decision all alone. So the first method of individual decision making or the individual decision making style is the analytical style. Now the analytical style is the most common style and the most understood style of decision making. As the word suggests, a person who wants to make decision or make choices from different options will try to analyze the particular situation. This person who uses the analytical style will take into consideration all the aspects of the choice, and then they will come to the best decision. Such people can cope with the uncertainty of the decision making or can deal with a lot of data or information while making a decision. These people are tolerant to unexpected situations, and that is why they can analyze the information in different manner, keeping into mind different perspectives. The second style of decision making is the behavioral style. Now, people who have behavioral style generally look at the outcomes from the point of view of others. They want to make decisions in a manner which will not affect others adversely. So such people consider other people while they make a decision. They also ask others around them who may get affected by the decision, and they will take a decision based on other people's opinions. These people have a less tolerance power to unexpected situations. They can also deal with less kind of analysis, and they want to take decisions only based on their rationale on how it is going to affect others. These people get confused because when they get opposite suggestions from different people getting affected, then they become confused and they do not know how to make a decision. Sometimes such people may take a longer time in making decisions because their different decisions will affect other people also. Now the third style of decision making is the conceptual style of decision making. Now these people take information from various sources and they analyze the situation. They base their situation on the knowledge and concept they have with them, and they will go with the decision quickly based on their logics. The fourth kind of decision making technique or the style is the directive style of decision making. Now the directive style of decision making is even more logical. These people take decisions very fast, but they are rational. Their decision may be short term, but they do not want to get into the analysis of too much of information. These people have less tolerance for information and uncertainty. So this is how 4 different styles of decision making is used in an organization, and how an individual makes decision will affect the work of the organization and the behavior of that person in the organization. So how an individual behaves in an organization depends on many different aspects. Like just now we studied the decision making. or in the past we studied about attitudes, personality, how a person is motivated, what are the different learning processes they go through, or what are the different kinds of learners, or we have also studied different ways of motivation, and we have studied the impression management. So all these things are the behavioral aspects of an individual, and these behaviors are of the individual which affects the organization. So I hope you have understood all the different aspects of individual behavior.